How is everybody? So, Louis C.K. is coming to town in November, and a lot of comics I know are going to see him, and it's just weird for me, as a comic lady, and I it's so strange because it's like you think you know somebody, you know what I mean? Like, it just feels like, how can you go and see Louis C.K. When it's like $300 a ticket, like, how can you afford that? Like, my dad died. I have some inheritance money. That's how I'm going. But how are you? How are you? I have front row tickets, but how are you? All right. I'm very excited about that. Very excited. So I've been improving a lot the last year while people have been dying, and I lost some weight. I got Invisalign, which is nice for comedy because I'm kind of a dirty comic, and I feel like I could say like pussy with a, like, it gives me a lisp. I could say like pussy in a church and nobody would care, They're like, oh, that girl with the impediments trying to offend us. That's so cute. Anyway, yeah, so I lost like 100 pounds over the pandemic, over the last like year and a half. And I've been working on losing this weight, though, for a long time. I've been fantasizing about losing this weight since I was, like, in my 20s, And then it took me all this time. It took me till I was 35 to lose it. But when I lost it, I thought I was going to still be, like, a hot 20-year-old, because that's been my goal this whole time. I was like, ooh, here it comes. And it turns out I'm just a middle-aged woman who's trying. And fuck. Oh, no. Shit. I got a facelift consultation. I can't afford it. I just want somebody to tell me that there's a, world where it's better. Fucking dieting is terrible. It's so bad. I gotta tell you, this is how people ask, how did you lose the weight? And I lie. And this is how I really did it. And the first thing's gonna sound kind of extreme. The second thing is very relatable. It's very relatable. So the first thing I did is that this is true, I weigh all of my food. I have a scale. It's like a drug scale, but less fun. And I put everything I eat goes on it, and then I track everything I eat, and I weigh it before it goes in my mouth. And that's a little nuts. Second thing, much more relatable, is I every morning when I wake up, I look in the mirror and I go, "You're fucking disgusting." And those are the two things, So funny because people are like, you need to diet because it's healthy. It's good for you. It's not fucking healthy. Dieting is like cutting yourself. If cutting yourself made people want to fuck you more, It's fucking hot self-harm. Actually, I found this subreddit, and sometimes cutting yourself does make people want to fuck you. That's like a thing. Did you know that? It's true, they like come on the cutting scars, which is crazy because like with girls, I cut myself when I was like 13, and I cut myself again when I was 30, which was real embarrassing. I'm like, fuck, how do I cover this up? Do they still make jelly bracelets? Like, what am I gonna? Can somebody please find me a copy of 17 magazine? Anyway, so the point is, girls cut themselves right when they start to get a little older, they start to develop. And it's like kind of about the time that like they start to get like objectified, like sexually objectified, and then it kind of makes them hate themselves and they don't know what to do with their body and they cut themselves. And then guys like to come on those scars. Like do you see? It's like a real salt in the wound situation. You know what I mean? Like okay. I went to rehab like a year ago because it wasn't like for drugs. It was for suicide. My brother thought I was gonna like kill myself or something because I said I was or whatever. So I went. How to buy a gun at Walmart was in the Google search history. It was a little bit of a giveaway. Obviously this was a few years ago. They don't still sell guns at Walmart. Too many people were using them in the store, but they don't. Let's not try before you buy. It's hard because I don't know how to fucking buy a gun. I was raised by progressives. They don't give you all the life skills or the end of life skills or whatever. And so I think it was, so I could have done pills. pills. You know, I could have done pills, but I just didn't want to go out like a bitch. You know what I mean? And the thing is like when somebody walks in and they find my brain splattered against the wall, I just want their first thought to be like, oh my God, she's not like those other girls, you know? Okay, thank you.